Okay, this video is going to be about creating music with loops from Studio One. So I have opened a session and opened the browser window over here. And you see there's an area called loops. You can also do this up here at the top. Instruments, effects, loops. And then you can organize things by type. Um, by type or by style or by instrument. For today, I'm going to do by type because we're going to look at musical files, which is the Studio One music loop format files that they have. A couple more things before we start adding things in. You'll want to note the tempo marker down here where you can change the tempo of the session. And then up here we're going to want to look at both the arranger ruler and the chords ruler. And I'm also going to show you the time signature and tempo. So these things can all have something to do with what we do here. So let's find musical files. I want type, not style. I want instrument. Okay, so here we go. So let's find some drums. See what other gives us. Yeah, let's look at other. So when I select one, I can come down here and preview it. And it tells me it was intended to be at 115 BPM. Let's see what else. All right, so let's take this one and put it in here. And we see that it is, it will play pretty slow now because the tempo session 62. So let me make the timeline up here show in bars and beats. So we see this is a 4-bar phrase. But let's change the tempo to 100. Maybe I don't want it quite that. So you notice, since this is all MIDI data, it just moves. So it's now. Okay. So that's a drum beat. Let's find some bass to go with that. That might be interesting. We'll see what that does. Oops. Put it all the way at the beginning here. Now you notice it's half as long, so if I select it and just hit D, it will duplicate it again. So let's see what we have. And let's find one more loop to put on there. Oh wait, there was the vocal. I think that's the one. Now you will notice this also says 115 BPM and A minor. This one, the bass one that I put in, also says A minor. So that will come in a second. And again, let's duplicate that. Oops. Hit D. Why is it doing that? because it is too long. That's weird. Okay. So we have here just 8 bars of loop information. So we can also get the tempo to change. So if, just like the way automation works, if we come into this tempo track, we can get, let's make that last a little longer so it's a little more obvious. Right, so there's that. We can come into the chords and actually set a chord. So let's put a chord right here. We're going to call it A minor. And then let that go for 2 bars. And then we'll put a new one here. And I'm going to call it, let's do E major and see what it, I'll let that go for 2 bars. Let's see what we hear. We did not hear anything change. That tempo thing's bugging me. I have to fix it. Sorry. There we go. Why did we not hear anything change? Because I need to look at the information for each of these tracks. So if we look at the bass, follow chords, we should turn it on. See what happens when it changes here. Right? So you hear that changes, and let's go on the piano, follow chords. Let's put it also on parallel. Okay, so now let's take this whole thing, select all of these, duplicate them one more time. Why are they doing that? They should go in the next. They're not. Let's just do it like that. And then let's see. So we're gonna put then a D chord right there, and then back to the A minor chord here. And so using just these loops, we can actually get something that sounds maybe like something. So now let's look at this whole thing. Now what we can do is come up here in the arranger track and make something. Let's call this oh, I gotta come over here and change it. I'm gonna call it part. And what I can do is make part 1 last for this whole thing. And then if I duplicate part 1, select part 1 and hit D, it would then do that whole thing. So then I can make a part 2. I can also select part 1 and copy it and come to bar 25 and paste it, and it puts the whole thing. So this arranger track's really cool in terms of letting you move like whole parts of the tune. So if you have a verse and a chorus, you can repeat the verses or add the chorus or do whatever. So that's a little quick how this works with the loops and the MIDI. And so your assignment for this week is to explore this and make something cool.